bisexual.
It seems like things are working properly. Welcome, Sperry.
Hello! How are you doing today, Yellow? You seem taller than usual.
Am I?
A bit?
I honestly do not feel any different at all, but it seems the same thing happened with Cyan in a way. In the last 10
Yeah, I noticed that too. Like, when I went to hug her, that was, interesting.
Yeah, it seems something happened since the last anniversary that disturbs something in the time and space continuum, and now it just look like this. Is it at least appealing to the eyes?
It's quite appealing, actually.
Oh my. Okay. Oh. I see how it is.
Listen, I just like tall women, okay? I've always been like this.
Okay, actually, you got me curious. Let me get a better look at this. Does this look... Huh.
So, like, here's the thing. When I'm, like, actually properly standing, I don't even reach, like, your waist level. Like, I reach,
Wow.
I think, right up to your thigh, but my 3'9" ass does not reach.
Well, this will surely... this will require some getting used to, but, Yellow, you're huge, thank you. This will definitely require some getting used to, definitely, but hey. The species is called giant panda for a reason, I imagine.
Yeah, you're actually almost as tall as my mom, Mia.
Huh.
She's a polar bear.
Okay. Let me get a closer look at this mirror. You know, I'm not totally against the change, honestly. What do you say? I do like how my new glasses look.
Your new glasses look fantastic.
They do look kind of similar to the old ones, but it's just a style that I really like. How's the weather up there? Should I say, how's the weather down there, cousin?
Damn.
There we go. Okay, yeah, no. Again, this will require some getting used to. It's quite the sudden change, but you know, we'll make do with what we have, honestly. We will not let this get in the way of our investigation. That's for sure. Okay. It's pretty hard actually. Escape. Oh, okay. Yeah. Just. I wonder how Maggie looks like now. I've seen Cyan, but I haven't seen Maggie ever since the anniversary. I wonder where she is.
I don't know, and it kind of scares me because I don't know what she's planning.
Is she still eating? No, she hasn't come back home since the anniversary stream. I guess we'll see. But it is Maggie. When left unchecked, things can happen, and when checked, things can also happen. But without further... Oh my god. Are you seeing how bouncy my hair is?
Yeah, it's really wonderful.
Oh. That's interesting. What happened last Saturday? Last Friday, sorry.
I don't know. I don't know.
What happened? I'm gonna have to investigate this later. But anyway, speaking of investigations, we have a case to solve here. So I say we get on that. How does that sound, Sverry?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay, let's get on with it. And let's jump right into what it might as well be the final episode of LAYTON versus WRIGHT. Okay, I think this is Maya speaking.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm as a heads up, I am studying for a driver's permit test, so I may take a second to like respond or do something.
Sverry, you might think you can multitask, but if you're trying to concentrate in your studies, you should do that instead. For your studies and your education are much more important than any stream at all, Sverry. Just saying.
This is true. I'm like halfway through the book. This is like a restudy thing. I've been studying, but like it's just a hey, just to make sure. I should go through this one more time.
Sverry?
Day of.
Sverry?
Yeah?
Go study.
You know what? Fair enough. I will lurk and I will hang out.
Okay. Good.
But I will let you know when everything is like taken care of and wrapped up, and hopefully I could be in here time for the ending. I don't know.
Don't worry about that. You should worry about your studies right now.
Okay. I will go do that.
Okay. But I appreciate
And also
your
that's
company.
a good question, Ender. I'm going to go over that because like I'm mostly jotting down. The thing that I'm struggling with is specific numbers. I can remember concepts and written things fine, but numbers seem to get my ass the most. But if I recall correctly, it's like 30 minutes before and after.
Well, it sounds like someone requires even more studying then.
Yes.
Go study, Sverry. Seriously. Now
Sadly,
go.
many drivers in the U.S. don't know when to turn their lights on. Yeah, they don't.
Go study, Sverry.
I will go study.
Good. Everybody wishes very good luck on her test.
I will see y'all in a bit.
Take care, Sverry. Okay. Now, where were we? Oh yeah, the investigation. Let's continue, shall we? Oh god. I don't fit in my chair anymore. This is gonna be a problem. Okay. Let's continue, shall we? Okay, so we solved that... yeah, why not? Because I am twice the size of what I used to be. Let's just say something happened and now I'm pretty tall compared to what I was before. We may never know what actually happened. But there we go. Let's continue. Okay, so we solved that crazy puzzle up at the bell tower, and guess what we found? Give up? It was Kira. Now, I'm no Professor Layton, but if she was there during the whole incident, then she's got to have some connection, right? That's why me and Nick investigated the scene of the crime from top to bottom. Chapter 9, The Last Inquisitor. So this is gonna be the final trial. I do like that the trials are in the open now. Very interesting. Okay, let's begin. Court is now once again in session. However, I must say I am quite surprised at the recent turn of events. Considering how much fire there's going around, that is true. To see Miss Kira at the witness stands once again, frankly, I cannot believe my eyes. Yeah, that was one of the more messed up scenes in the game, to be sure. You were most certainly sent to the flames as a witch. That girl, how is she still alive? Is it because she's a witch? Can witches not die? This whole adventure was messed up. Yeah, but that scene in particular, that one and the one where the quote-unquote burn Maya, that was definitely one of the more harder ones to watch, honestly. No, she must have used the mirror and vanished just in time. I sent her straight to the fire. I say send her straight to the fire. We'll do it ourselves if you have to. Enough. A witch must be in possession of a telemagica in order to use magic. I hate to disappoint you all, but do you see such thing on her person? I think not. But she must have... That girl must have used the mirror. Surely you can see that, High Inquisitor. The mirror is a spell able to make someone disappear from sight. It cannot make one vanish entirely. And besides, an investigation conducted by the Knights of the Inquisition has concluded that this girl is not capable of using magic. Listen well, Miss Kira. Your existence alone jeopardizes the very peace of Labyrinthia, yet given the current situation, it is now imperative that you testify to this court regarding what you saw, immediately.
Objection!
That will not be necessary. What? This girl has already been convicted and tried as a witch in the previous trial. What good could come of her testimony?
Objection!
Objection. But she was found hiding at the crime scene. Oh, hey CJ, welcome to the stream. I hope you have a fantastic day. I'd say that makes her a very important witness. Love the new look yellow. Yeah, people were commenting on that, saying that I look different and complimenting my new height, I guess. which I appreciate, despite the fact that it's something outside of my control, obviously. But I do appreciate it greatly. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We will proceed, regardless of how I'd look like in appearance. Let me give you a better look. I think it looks pretty nice. Oh. If it isn't show.
Finally, I can make it.
You made it just in time, my friend. Glad to see you.
Glad to see you too. Nice model.
Thank you. We were just talking about the fact that I have seemingly changed just like Cyan. Do you happen to have... You were there. Do you happen to have any idea what happened that Friday that made us all change, like, form-wise?
That's a good question.
That is a good question, isn't it?
That's a whole other investigation right there.
Yeah, we'll have to investigate that later. Because right now we have another investigation to take care of.
Welcome back, Professor.
Professor Wright, okay. You do voice both of them, so in a way...
Yeah, that's funny.
It does make sense.
That is funny.
It does make sense. But
that's pretty good.
That is pretty good, but yeah. Before we begin, how was your day?
Oh, it's not over yet.
So far, at least.
So far, good.
That's good to hear.
We're not out of the woods yet.
Not
so
yet, but we are on our way, you could say.
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay, let's continue.
Oh boy. Oh, almost forgot. Sorry. Sorry, Your Honor. I'm just getting my files together.
No worries. Otto.
Don't burn the lady just yet. Or actually, don't do that at all, please.
Yeah, we already saw that twice. We didn't need that a third time.
I don't need to see that happen again. Okay. All right, we're back to it again. Here we go. And all right. I'd say that makes her a very important witness, a witness whose testimony we cannot choose to ignore. High Inquisitor Darklaw, I'm afraid your objection is overruled.
You wish to proceed then? Very well. Let us see just how much of her story this girl is willing to tell the court, shall we?
Oh, they whipped out Kira for this one. Oh boy. There's no doubt about it. Miss Kira must have escaped through the passage leading under the Chamber of Fire. Although, from the looks of it, the judge doesn't have a clue that escape route even exists.
I wish I'd hurry up and get the hint. I'm dying to take this helmet off already. I forgot she looked like that.
Oh yeah.
The top of my head really itches.
Sorry, Maya. Take that thing off now, and we're as good as done. Just hang in there a little while longer.
Aww.
Very well. Witness, you may begin your testimony. Explain to the court how you are standing here in court today, and why you were hiding at the crime scene.
Kira does not say a word, huh? Witness testimony. Let's do this. I am not familiar with this Kira you keep talking about. I came from the Eldritch Woods. I came to this town to summon forth the fire dragon and kill the storyteller. As it rained, I waited near the bell tower next to the vigilantes for my chance. I was only there to carry out my orders. I don't know anything else outside of that. To carry out my orders, the orders that the shades are given, your mission,
Exactly.
your task.
Exactly. Task.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the word that they used.
You came to kill the storyteller?
Yes, that was my task. There it is. So, the Great Witch of the Woods, not Great Witch Basella, the one that gives everyone their tasks, to all of the shades. She gave this girl that that looks like Kira the task to kill the storyteller. Okay. Keep in mind, this girl was not the one who summoned the fire dragon in the end. That was the accused. As I warned you earlier, there is nothing to be gained from this witch's testimony.
Objection!
Now hold on. She was still present at the scene of the crime with the intent to murder the storyteller. The defense insists
Wow.
The defense insists we be permitted to continue with our cross-examination on those grounds. Claw is really trying to weasel her way out of this cross-examination. And that means there has to be something there.
Between you and me, I cannot wait for Layton to show up.
This is gonna be... Yeah. Layton's gonna show up at the 11th hour. And
it's gonna be insane.
And Darklaw is gonna be very sad.
That is true.
Something tells me that woman's gonna be brought to tears. I must admit,
I too am extremely interested in hearing what this witness has to say. Defender, you may begin your interrogation.
Okay.
It's funny because I'm pulling the same kind of voice they use for the Ace Attorney anime for the judge.
That is that is true.
Yeah, that's the only one I know of.
Oh, speaking of Ace Attorney, guess what landed on my Steam library show?
What do you mean?
The Ace Attorney collection.
Which one? The original trilogy?
The original trilogy.
Hey!
And you know what that means. You know what's happening in a couple months.
Hey!
I have decided that this game has officially sold me on Ace Attorney.
Okay. Well, I guess that means I'll have to beat the.
We're gonna be doing a lot of voice acting, my friend.
The roles are gonna be reversed for this one.
Yeah, and we need to continue playing investigations.
Yes, I know. We really gotta get back to that.
Yeah, the thing is that chapter was so long. We needed a little bit of a break.
No.
But anyway, I definitely want to press on when she says that she was just doing her orders. You know?
Yeah, they're just orders, right?
Yeah, there it is. I was only there to carry on my orders. We're gonna press on that.
Hold it!
Tell us more.
Miss Kira, who exactly gave you your orders?
I cannot say.
And why is that?
I am not to disclose the identity of the one who has given me my orders. That in itself is an order.
How convenient.
I am only supposed to carry out my orders, nothing more. I do not know anything else. And besides, there is nothing more that I can really do.
Nothing more she can do?
But hold on a minute. Surely you are capable of using magic. You are a witch, are you not?
I'm not a witch.
What did you just say?
I cannot use magic.
She can't use magic?
This girl is a witch. Every person in this courtroom knows that as a matter of a fact. There can be nary a doubt.
Doesn't look like there's much to work with.
Even though she just finished explaining everything, I still don't fully understand. Oh man, Nick. You don't think this Kira is actually some sort of crazy magical zombie, do you?
Maya, you went through the same thing as Kira. Did you become a magical zombie?
Oh yeah. I guess not, huh? She's so silly.
Yep, that is Maya. Luke and I couldn't believe it when Luke and I couldn't believe it was Kira when we ran into her in the marketplace. I mean, we thought for sure she was a goner back at the trial.
I don't think I'm far off though. This Kira is way different than the old Kira. It looks like she doesn't remember a thing. She's almost like another person entirely.
But what if that's just it, Maya? What if the Kira right here, right now, is the real Kira and the old Kira wasn't?
Huh. The real Kira, huh?
Yeah, and that's why. I think I'm bound to find something useful in her testimony.
We can do this, Nick. I hope you're ready to slam on some desks because we're gonna do some serious pressing here.
I would say less of an airhead Kosen and more just a very imaginative person. She loves movies. She loves Super Sentai. She's just a very... she's got a wild imagination.
As you ran, I waited near the bell tower, next to the vigilantes for my chance. Tell us more about that. What was your plan here?
Hold it!
Hold it right there, Miss Kira. You snuck right past the vigilantes?
Yes, that's right. Oh, this girl is a witch. If we look at Darklight interrupting... Huh.
Immediately.
Yeah, this girl is a witch. Therefore, something as simple as vanishing from sight is child's play. Isn't that right, witness? Yes, that is correct.
Aha! I remember now. Just a few days ago, this girl used that very vanishing spell. Demir, if memory serves.
Well, what are you gawking at, witness? Continue with your testimony.
What was that just now?
Is Darklight using more of her quote-unquote we assume mind-controlling powers that she was using on Espella in the previous trial?
Could be.
I guess we'll see. Because her attitude completely changed right there.
I could have sworn I just saw Kira's face turn even paler than normal. Wait a second. There's something not right about this testimony. It's just a hunch, but what should I do?
Oh. We're gonna press further.
Press. Miss Kira, I have one simple question for you. You stated earlier in your testimony that you snuck past the vigilantes guarding the bell tower and went right inside. Tell me, did you use the spell Demir to get by them?
That must certainly be the case. Had she not, she would have surely been spotted.
Objection!
But remember what she let slip just a moment or two ago. She denied being a witch, and she stated she cannot use magic.
Huh!
Therefore, if that's true, then you, Miss Kira, would not have been able to use Demir at all.
Objection!
Objection! What a ridiculous argument. How else would this girl have been able to walk right into the bell tower unnoticed by the guards? Explain that.
Objection!
I have a better idea. How about we have the witness herself explain it to you? What do you say, Miss Kira?
I'm not a witch. And I cannot use magic. She keeps repeating that.
So then, exactly how were you able to ascend the bell tower without being noticed? Witness, amend your testimony this instant!
Okay.
What's going on? There's got to be another way she got into that bell tower unseen. But other than magic, I have no idea what that could be.
I was wearing a robe of invisibility, so no one was able to see me there? Wait. You mean this robe? The flower-covered robe that we found at the crime scene?
Could be.
Objection!
There was, in fact, a robe dropped and left at the crime scene tonight.
Robe?
Miss Kira? That robe of invisibility that you mentioned earlier wouldn't happen to be... this one right here, would it?
Objection!
Objection. Hello, Chris. You are trying to tell me the cord that... You're trying to tell the cord that is the robe of invisibility? Oh, please. If it's really a robe of invisibility, then how is it we can see it right now, dirty white spots and all?
Oh! Well, she's kinda got a point there.
Oh hey, what if the robe actually disappears when you wear it? Give it here, Nick. Watch in wonder as Maya the Magnificent disappears before your very eyes.
That is a very Maya thing to do.
It is. Oh my god. So? Are you amazed yet?
That don't work. Yeah, I'm amazed. At how totally ridiculous you look in that.
Wow. Hey, what gives? This thing must be busted or something. I didn't disappear at all.
Well, that's not it. No. Wait?
Tonight, at the bell tower, I was wearing that robe.
What did you say?
So we got something here.
Order! I said order! But how is that possible? The rope did not disappear at all just now.
That's because of the white powder on it. It's usually not that dirty.
Oh, you mean these spots here? Oh, please don't tell me.
But yeah, but it totally unloaded an entire bag of flour onto those nights, remember?
Not to mention it was still raining when we were up there. The flour must have gotten nice and wet, so it stained the robe. Say, what if we try washing the flour off?
Oh! There was a small water fountain at the edge of the square. Head there right now and wash the robe so we can get to the bottom of this. Quickly, now!
We're taking the entire cord there? We are.
Yo, the laundry of the century, holy shit.
Yeah. The laundry that that will define the life or death of a person. Alright, this shouldn't be too hard. Take notes, Nick. This is how you do the laundry. See, all you have to do is throw the robe into the water like so. Wait, what?
So, do you see anything, Maya?
That's just it. I don't see a thing. It disappeared.
What?
It is a robe of invisibility after all.
I frantically took a close look at the water in the fountain. But the robe had actually vanished without a trace, right there inside the fountain.
Defender? What is the meaning of this? How could you have lost such a vital piece of evidence?
Your Honor, it wasn't on purpose. Trust me, I wish I knew how it happened. Oh, I can't believe it. The robe actually disappeared from sight. That would probably be Kira.
Yeah, I don't quite know what you're talking about. I can still see the robe just fine.
With my special eyes. Huh?
Look, it's right here, see?
No, Miss Kira, I really don't see. Because there's nothing to see.
So, is that how it works? Putting the robe on makes it disappear completely from sight, but from the looks of it, only Kira is able to actually see the robe itself. Excuse me.
Salud.
It is not just me. It's all the inhabitants of the Elwich Woods. All of us can see the robe.
The Eldritch Woods.
Our village lies deep within the recesses of the forests, in a world much different from this one. That's where I live. As long as you obey the law of the land, we are allowed to live there.
I knew it. There's definitely something different about Kira compared to the rest of the townspeople here.
For the time being, seeing as only the witness can see the robe, we will cover it in flour again for the sake of visibility.
Okay.
But there's still one tiny thing bothering me. Miss Kira, your robe was found on the middle floor of the bell tower, the same floor where we found my client. However, you were hiding on the uppermost level of the bell tower. You testified a little while ago that you dropped your robe, but I have to wonder, what exactly were you doing on that top floor?
It would seem there is still much we must ask this witness. What say you, High Inquisitor Doglaw?
It is the Inquisition's duty to follow Milord's decision on such matters. I have no objections.
Very well. Witness, you are hereby ordered to continue with your testimony. Tell us what happened between your sneaking up to the top floor of the bell tower and tonight's most terrible crime.
Yes, okay. Here we go. The witness testimony. I was waiting on the middle floor of the tower. I started to turn around, but I was too late. They attacked me from behind. There was nothing I could do. My arm was restrained and the attacker covered my mouth. As I struggled to get away, I think I managed to pull something off of my attacker. That be the,
That is
Yeah.
interesting for sure.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Blaze. Thank you for stopping by on the stream. That's when I lost consciousness.
What the hell is this?
I woke up to find myself next to the bell on the top floor of the tower.
Witness, are you saying someone attacked you while you were in the bell tower?
Yes, that is correct.
But who?
I don't know. They attacked me from behind, so I couldn't see who it was.
So you were unconscious the entire time after that?
That's why I was unable to complete my mission. But even if I hadn't been unconscious, I couldn't have done anything trapped high up in the belfry like that.
I wonder if that weird contraption we found there was used to move Kira up to the belfry. At least, I can't see any other way she would have could have got up there.
You heard the witness. She was locked up in the belfry of the tower. In other words, she couldn't have had anything to do with tonight's events. Therefore, there is no need for this utterly useless interrogation.
Objection!
Not so fast! The witness also testified that someone attacked her tonight.
Defender, are you implying that this attacker could have been Bezella?
I cannot say for certain, Your Honor. Regardless, the defense requests we be allowed to cross-examine the witness.
Request granted. Now then, defender, you may begin your interrogation.
And here's where the fun begins.
Okay.
Let's see if we can coax this mysterious second witch out of hiding.
I want to try something interesting here. Because I think I have an idea after reading the testimony. I stood on the middle floor. The attack me from behind. There was nothing I could do. My arm was restrained when the attacker covered my mouth. Right here, as I struggled to get away, I think I managed to pull something off of my attacker. What if...
Objection!
Miss Kira, you stated that you felt yourself snap something off your attacker. Would that thing by any chance be this right here?
Oh? Marvelous. That's it. I recognize that shape. That's the object I grabbed.
What did you say? But that's... the accuser's pendant, is it not?
Not quite, Your Honor. There are actually two pendants like this. The one you see here is the counterpart to Miss Cantabella's pendant.
Now that you mentioned it, I remember. The necklace was actually very tough. It really didn't rip right off so easily. So, I struggled against it, tugging and pulling it for a bit, and I must have scratched their neck in the process.
Wait a second. You mean you scratched your attacker's neck?
I think so, but I don't know for sure. Nick, in that case... that means the dark stuff on the necklace could be... the blood.
Yeah. It could be the attacker's blood. As the court can clearly see, there are still traces of blood left on the necklace itself. However, take one good look at my client, and you'll notice there are no visible scars or cuts of any kind around her neck. Ergo, there is no way Miss Cantabella could be Miss Kira's attacker.
Objection!
Nice try, Defender. But I must stop you right there.
Huh?
Have you already forgotten what I told you? The Great Witch can use any spell in existence. She could have easily healed any such wound in a blink of an eye.
God damn it. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I already miss Inquisitor Barnum.
So does Constantine.
Goddamn right.
Man, we really can catch a break on this one, huh, Nick?
Let us resume the interrogation. Witness, continue with your testimony.
Okay. Wait a second here. Put on the middle floor. Can we check the evidence? They took me from behind. There was nothing I could do. Man was restrained and the attacker covered my mouth. Wait. If they attack you from behind, how did you manage to grab the pendant?
That's a good question.
Objection!
Miss Kira, there's something a little strange about your testimony just now, wouldn't you say?
Huh?
You stated that you were attacked from behind, and that the attacker grabbed you by the wrist, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Assuming that was, in fact, the case, then I'd say no matter how much you struggled, there's no way you would have been able to yank off this pendant, don't you think?
Uh,
The strap on this pendant is too short. There's no way you could have reached behind you and managed to pull it off.
That's a good point.
Miss Kira, the only way you could have been able to yank this pendant off of your attacker is if they were standing directly in front of you.
no!
Order! Order, I say! Witness, is this true?
Objection!
Oh boy.
The witness was the victim of the physical attack. It's only natural that she'd be a bit confused on the details.
Objection!
Hi, Inquisitor. I wouldn't exactly call mistaking the location of your attacker being a bit confused. I'd call it more of a barefaced lie.
Well, no, Defender. I see her as pathetically short-sighted as ever. Your argument is only valid assuming that the girl here actually saw her attacker. If she was not able to see this person, well, I'd say it makes no difference where they were standing.
Then that means the attacker was also wearing one of these robes.
That is impossible, my lord, as the witness already stated earlier. Only residents of the Eldritch Woods are able to see these robes. In short, the attacker must have been a witch and must have disappeared from sight with the use of magic.
You must mean the Great Witch Bazella.
There's one more thing, providing the attacker to be a witch.
And just what might that be?
The witness has stated that she lost consciousness. If you take a look at the Grand Grimoire, you will notice a spell called Faintfall. Witness, allow me to ask you. Did you hear the incantation of this spell? Now that you mention it, I do remember hearing something like that.
Say what?
More twists and turns.
Aha! Here it is! Faintfall causes those who hear the incantation to lose all consciousness.
We must not forget, the Great Witch can use any and all magic at will.
Witness, amend your testimony to reflect this important piece of information.
Yes, right away.
Oh boy. I can't believe she managed to get out of that one. But still, I'm not about to give up just yet. I'll keep on going until we finally get to the bottom of who this attacker really is.
Now then, let us continue with the interrogation.
Okay. I heard the incantation for Faintfall before I could even turn around. Wait. Let's read about that. Instant sleep spell causes those who hear the incantation to lose all consciousness. It effects takes hold the second the incantation is heard. The incantation for Faintfall, and before I could even turn around. What else? I was suddenly attacked. There was nothing I could do. How do you remember that if you passed out immediately? How do you know you were attacked if you pass out immediately? What you're saying doesn't make sense with how this spell works.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Objection!
Miss Kira, I have watched you at that witness stand this entire trial, desperately trying to keep something hidden from the rest of the court. I wonder if you're familiar with the saying, a lie begets more lies. It means multiple lies are bound to unravel and leave your story with more holes than Swiss cheese.
Get to the point, Defender.
According to the Grand Grimoire, Faintfall causes a person to lose all consciousness. It's written here in black and white. Its effect takes hold the second the incantation is heard.
I hear it.
Miss Kira, you testified as follows. You heard the incantation for Faintfall and immediately became aware of the presence of your attacker. You then put up a fight. But, if you really did hear the incantation, there's no way you would have been able to yank that pendant from your assailant.
Marvelous.
Gotcha, bitch! That deserves a...
It does.
Order!
Can you imagine someone screaming like that in the fucking courtroom?
Yeah.
I can't.
That would be amazing.
Order! Order! What? is the meaning of this?
The meaning is that Miss Kira didn't actually hear the incantation like she claimed she did.
But then, why? Why on earth was this girl unconscious?
Kira was definitely knocked out by whoever attacked her. And when she woke up, she found herself up on the top floor of the bell tower.
It's possible Miss Kira was rendered unconscious by...
Something other than magic, where no spell could be heard. That would be my suggestion.
That would be logical.
Yeah.
That would be a logical deduction.
Something other than magic.
The answer here is obvious. Something other than magic must have knocked her out.
CJ saying somebody's getting. Yeah. Yeah. This is pretty much what's happening now, yeah. Someone is in fact getting effed.
Somebody's getting fucked.
Objection!
Darklo is getting defensive.
Oh yeah.
And what, may I ask, makes you so certain of that? It is not possible that another spell could have been used.
Objection!
That's just not possible. You, of all people, should know that.
What?
Miss Kira's claim that she heard somebody say the incantation is completely false. Even so, that wouldn't be too much of a problem if she actually had heard an incantation. That's right. However, going by her testimony, that can't have been the case. The only spell capable of making someone lose consciousness is Feign-Fall. Isn't that right, High Inquisitor Darklaw? Defender, are you claiming there is another way besides magic that can be used to render Miss Kira unconsciousness? Yeah! You hit her! You knock her the fuck out! Sleeping gas! There's a whole bunch of terrible ways to do that.
There are plenty of ways of doing that, actually, yeah.
Yes! There's only one other thing that crossed my mind. I'm speaking, of course, about sleeping medicine. Sleeping medicine? If you remember, Miss Kira stated that the attacker covered her mouth before she could scream.
That's true.
Oh, God. In doing that, the attacker was able to administer a potent sleep medicine, thus putting Kira out like a light. Indeed. That does make sense. Therefore, Your Honor, the attacker did not necessarily have to be Bezella. I mean, why would an all-powerful being, capable of commanding any and all magic, need to resort to drugging someone?
Objection!
Objection! Hold it right there, Defender. They managed to sneak past the guards and make their way up in the bell tower. Clearly they must have used magic to appear invisible.
Objection!
You don't need magic to make yourself disappear, High Inquisitor. Throw this on, and getting past those guards at the tower is a piece of cake. The robe of invisibility!
That's right.
But, despite all that, there's still one glaring problem. Miss Kira,
Yes?
You admitted to the court earlier that you were attacked from the front, correct? If that's the case, then there's only one possible conclusion we can draw. You, Miss Kira, were entirely capable of seeing your attacker's face.
Why is that? I didn't.
It's simple. You even said it yourself. Only residents of the Eldritch Woods are able to see this robe. That means, Miss Kira, there is a piece of this puzzle only you could possibly know. Only you can tell us the identity of the person who entered the bell tower and attacked you tonight.
It's Darklaw. I can't really see it. It's Darklaw.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
We do suspect the Darklaw is the Great Witch, not Bazella, but the one from the forest.
Yes.
I can't tell you. No matter what happens, I just can't tell you. No matter what.
You see, everyone? This witness has been covering up for someone from the very start of this trial.
What?
But luckily for us, we won't be needing any more of Miss Kira's testimony. Because the answer is staring us right in the face. I'm speaking, of course, about the true identity of Miss Kira's attacker. All the clues so far point to this one person.
Defender, I take it you're prepared to prove such a serious accusation?
I am. All right. Looks like it all comes down to this. Now we'll finally see who's been pulling the strings this whole time.
Very well. Defender, tell the court. Who was the one responsible for attacking the witness and locking her up on the top floor of the bell tower?
Oh, come on now.
Yeah. I find it amusing that the vigilantes are an option here. And the cat, and Kira herself. It's Darklaw.
It is Darklaw all fucking day.
Take that!
100%. The answer is obvious, Your Honor. It was you! High Inquisitor Darklaw!
What? Order! Order! Order in the court! Inconceivable! There's no way!
I must say, Defender. Somebody's getting fucked. Your courage is impressive. However, reckless you may be, accusing a High Inquisitor is no small feat, I assure you. However, with serious accusations come serious consequences. One small misstep, and I will personally see that you never set foot in this courtroom ever again. Mark my words,
Bitch, I ain't
Defender.
from here! Alright. I understand.
My, how confident. Let us see if that confidence of yours is well justified.
Miss Kira's attacker drugged her with sleep medicine. It likely took no more than a few seconds for her to lose consciousness. The medicine must have been very potent.
True. After all, its effects appear somewhat similar to magic.
There's only one person I can think of in all of Labyrinthia who could supply you with that kind of medicine. Sir Newton Belduke.
The alchemist.
Yep.
Objection!
All comes together.
Defender, you are aware that Sir Belduc has been deceased for over 3 months now, are you not?
That's a fact I'm well aware of. Believe me. While he was still alive, Sir Belduke provided the citizens of this town with a variety of medicines for whatever ailed them. But it wasn't all just medicine. He also created some very dangerous concoctions.
Hey, thank you for the follow, Mist. Much appreciated.
Mist! Let's fucking go!
That's why, after he passed away, all of his medicines and creations were confiscated.
Confiscated?
Inquisitor Barnum said as much in the last witch trial.
The victim was an alchemist after all. We were hoping the items confiscated from his study could provide some clues. Besides, such things must not fall into the wrong hands. It may not be standard practice, but it was deemed necessary. The confiscated goods are stored in our secret vault. The only person with access to them is the High Inquisitor, Lady Darkla. And there it is! And there it is! There it is! There it
There
is!
it fucking is!
We got her! We got her!
I'm thinking of Drew's Gear. He's like, we got him. We finally got him.
We got him.
We got him.
Objection!
All right.
So, because I have access to the medicine, I must be the one that used it. Is that what you're getting at, Defender?
That's right.
Unfortunately for you, I would hardly call that proof. You said it yourself. Sir Baldo concocted a plethora of dangerous medicines in his efforts to assist the people of the town. He was well known for this fact, a fact that no doubt he was none too pleased with. As such, it is highly likely that those same dangerous substances are still scattered throughout the town. And therefore, Defender, it is entirely possible that the corpses was able to get their hands on such dangerous medicine.
Indeed. Long as Sir Belduke's medicine played an active part in maintaining the health of this town's citizens, there is plenty of reason to believe some of his more dangerous medicines still remain within Labyrinthia.
A piece of advice, Defender. The next time you speak in the court, I recommend that you try procuring some real evidence before spouting such idiotic accusations. If you fail to do so, your next words will be uttered to the flames.
Figures. I knew she wouldn't take that argument sitting down.
Both High Inquisitor Darklaw and Inquisitor Barnum are the very harbingers of justice within Labyrinthia. Raising such an accusation against either of them without valid reason will result in the most severe of punishments.
What does he mean by the most severe punishments?
I think the judge is saying that if I don't start making a case, we're gonna be paying Sir Belduke a visit real soon.
Yeesh.
I need to present some decisive evidence, and fast. I'm pretty sure I should be able to do that much. High Inquisitor Darklaw is the attacker, and the one thing that proves it is...
Darkla herself, perhaps. We could check her neck if you wanted to.
She did say there was a spell that could cause it to heal, though. But that would be...
It might be a long shot, but...
It might be a long shot, but that's not a bad idea.
I'll try. I want to try this.
Okay. The defense believes there is one clue here linking High Inquisitor Darklaw to the crime. High Inquisitor! That clue is actually still on you right now.
On me?
This wouldn't be the first time I've seen this happen.
I must admit I do not know where you are going with this, Defender, but please point out this clue to the court. Show us this clue, supposedly still on the High Inquisitor's person.
Would you nick? Would you nick? You nick?
The neck.
Would you nick?
The neck.
Would you nick?
Got it.
Nick in the neck. With your neck.
The High Inquisitor's neck? You don't mean...
The neck?
Miss Kira yanked this pendant off of her attacker's neck. Take a look at the necklace. It still has a bit of blood left on it. Ooh. According to her earlier testimony, when Miss Kira pulled at that necklace, she supposedly felt herself scratch the attacker's neck. Is that right, Miss Kira?
Yes.
Therefore, the attacker should still have a mark on their neck from having been scratched.
Oh,
Would you mind letting the court take a look at your neck, High Inquisitor Darklaw? I'm pretty sure that underneath that high collar, we'll find exactly the mark we're looking for. Unless, of course, you were able to get rid of it with magic. He accounted for that.
Back against the wall. Most impressive.
what?
I have to say, Defender, you managed to finally hone that dull blade of yours into something of use. You are correct. There is in fact a mark on my neck that I did receive tonight.
What? What?
Lady Darklaw.
Have a hickey?
Dude. So that's where Barnum went, huh? I see.
Who's to say it was Barnum?
I mean, she did want him in a cage really bad, all things considered.
That is a mystery for another day.
That is not a mystery we're here to solve.
Absolutely not.
This is not the correct platform for that sort of thing. Does that mean Lady Darklaw is the Great Witch?
Your Honor?
Oh, yes, I see you're still here, Defender.
Your Honor, I know you're shocked and everything, but come on, work with me here. Your Honor, the defense would like to call High Inquisitor Darklaw to the witness stand.
What did you just say?
It's quite clear that the High Inquisitor has some connection to what transpired tonight. And what's more, there is a chance she used her position of authority as High Inquisitor to frame my client as the Great Witch.
But never in all my years as judge of this court has an Inquisitor been asked to take the stand in the middle of a trial.
Well, we're going to have to make some history here if we're finally going to find the truth, Your Honor.
Even so, this trial cannot continue any further without an Inquisitor.
Layton!
Is it
Layton!
time? Is it time?
It's Layton!
Hey, in that case, how about you get an Inquisitor born? The Inquisitor born remains incarcerated in the underground dungeons for the crime of treason against the storyteller.
It's gonna be late. It's gonna be late.
I don't think he'll be able to make it to this party. No way! Here we go. Most regrettable, Defender.
I don't know about that. Storyteller's dead, so I'm smoking a pack.
Professor, what's a
Talk, I don't
pack?
think she's really her. She must be smoking on crack.
Professor, what's a pack?
I'll tell you when you're older, Luke.
Okay, sorry, I had to do it. Okay.
We had to.
This whole thing is hopeless. Unless High Inquisitor Darklaw takes to the witness stand. Spelling will be done for, and the truth along with her. But on the other hand, without an Inquisitor on the other side, the trial can't continue, and the outcome would end up the same. What should I do?
Hold it.
Yes!
Yes! Yes! He's fucking here!
Yeah, oh my god, there it is!
It's not over
I
yet.
believe I can fill that role.
Yes!
Professor, wait, what are you saying?
I can prove, conclusively, that Espella Cantabella is, in fact, the Great Witch Bazella. Now, Mr. Wright, the time has come at last to settle this once and for all.
The things
We've
he's
been
playing.
waiting for the professor to show up.
Can we appreciate Professor Layton's theme? It's just so good.
If there was anyone who could find some decisive evidence to win this thing, it was him. However, he ended up standing behind the Inquisitor's bench. The professor wasn't on our side here. I had to wonder, what the heck was going to happen?
Layton versus Phoenix Wright. Now the title makes sense.
Chat, for those that know, I'm getting Spring Breeze vibes from this. That's all I'm gonna say. If you know, you know.
The next chapter, let's do this. This is getting good. This is getting really good. Of course I want to save.
Yeah.
This is gonna be an
Oh,
interesting
man.
one. Okay.
Professor? But what are you doing?
What am I doing, Mr. Wright?
Yeah, you were supposed to show up with some decisive evidence and save the day, Professor.
I'm afraid my only concern here is the truth.
The truth?
The truth behind the real identity of the Great Witch, Espella Cantabella. If seeking the truth requires us to stand on opposite sides of the courtroom, then so be it. I expect you to defend Miss Cantabella with everything you've got, Mr. Wright.
Here we go. Oh shit! Oh, we got a raid even, just in time.
Perfect time.
Hey,
Just in time.
Gargaltoy, thank you so much for the raid. You all arrived just in time for the final trial.
The best.
The best.
Finally.
Here we go.
It really is Ace Attorney versus Professor Layton. We really are here. This is it.
We're finally here. Thank you so much for the raid. I hope your stream went fantastic. And thank you for the follow, everybody.
Whew, I'm going to be busy during this trial.
Oh my god. You want to voice someone?
Oh,
Yeah.
no, it's okay. I can do it. I can do it.
Okay, okay.
Court is back in session. Are you prepared, High Inquisitor?
I'm gonna be voicing both Kira and Darkla, so.
Yeah. We're gonna need it
Hydrate? Hydrate, we're gonna need it, yeah.
now. Yeah, we're going to fucking need it. Fucking need it!
There you go. So long as I remain on the witness stand, I am no longer High Inquisitor. Simply Darkla will suffice.
Miss Darklaw, I'd like to just confirm something. A moment ago, we established that you were, in fact, present at the bell tower during the time of the incident. That makes a total of 3 people at the scene.
It would appear that was the case.
However, you managed to stay hidden from the 10 different guards. With the help of this right here.
The robe of invisibility.
In other words, there is a reason to be In other words, there is every reason to be suspicious of your actions tonight.
Lady Darklaw, while I cannot believe that you would deceive us in such a way, I ask that you tell the court what happened at the time of the incident.
Very well. Witness
I
testimony.
gotta switch from Phoenix to Layton on a dime. Oh man.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. What happened tonight? The town square was to be the parade's final stop. I had patrolled the perimeter to ensure nothing was amiss. As I passed by the bell tower, a pair of small footprints leading inside caught my eye. I went inside to investigate. I had my own reasons for not allowing any of those vigilantes to see me. I climbed the stairs up the bell tower and I saw an intruder inside with their back turned. I proceeded to apprehend them.
You apprehended the intruder?
While I hold the position of High Inquisitor, there are often times when I must partake in various secret tasks, unbeknownst to the citizens of Labyrinthia. One of those tasks being ensuring the security of the storyteller.
Security?
As such, there's nothing odd nor suspicious about my actions tonight.
Yo, what up, Lucy?
Hey Lucy, welcome to the stream.
I see. Defender, you may now begin your interrogation.
Ooh.
Ooh, Billie Jean's not my lover. Look at that.
You know, now I cannot unsee.
The fucking hat tip down. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, bro, you gonna do the moonwalk next in a white suit? What the fuck?
Layton is known to moonwalk on his opponents. That's for sure. I want her to tell us more about when she was saying she had her own reasons.
For real.
There it is. Tell us more about that, okay?
Hold it!
And what were those reasons?
They relate to protecting the storyteller. It was something I was to carry out at that particular time.
Did it perhaps have something to do with what was already decided upon in the story?
Oh, hey Tia. If it isn't
Tia.
if it isn't the birthday girl, huh? Happy birthday, Tia. I hope you have an awesome birthday, like you deserve.
Yeah! New yellow! Yeah!
That's me. Apparently, despite the fact that I do not feel entirely different, I am in fact changed in my physical appearance. And I will proceed to give you a better look. So, how is that? Is that to your liking, perhaps? Good fit. Thank you very much, Vivi. And welcome to the stream as well. It seems like the entire party is here. So, let's get on it. Let's get on with it. Let's continue.
It's VA time.
The storyteller's word is absolute. Therefore, any and all of those who make an attempt to make an attempt to alter his will must be dealt with immediately. What happened, Miss Kira?
You got something to say?
Oh,
Got something to say?
I think she does.
Hang on!
That almost sounded like Goku for a second. What the fuck?
You know, later, yeah, that
Just
kind
for a
of
split second.
well, a little bit of Shan Shimo came out of Phoenix right
A
there.
little bit, yeah. Excuse me, Miss Kira? Witness!
Yes?
Figures. She really doesn't remember her own name. You seem to be deep in thought about something. Did you remember anything regarding the High Inquisitor's testimony?
No, I'm sorry. Nothing in particular. It's just... I'm a little disappointed in myself.
Disappointed?
I traveled all the way here to Labyrinth in order to fulfill my mission, but... all I managed to do was fail and end up being captured.
Regardless of your failure, Miss Kira, the storyteller did die as foretold, did he not?
Tonight, as the rain came pouring down over the town, I arrived at my designated location. The designated place.
At the designated time.
To perform my designated task. Dismemberment. Naturally, the Bell Tower was surrounded by guards on patrol, tend to be attacked. I was very nervous.
She must be talking about the vigilantes.
I was very. Congrats on passing your test. I told you you should
Congrats!
study. Congratulations. Just relax, you'll be fine as long as you're wearing this robe, I kept telling myself. Little did I know I was wrong. But none of this would have happened if I had just a little bit... if I was just a little bit more careful.
Enough! I would be thinking more about atoning for your past crimes and less about what could have been if I were you.
Is there anything wrong with Kira's testimony?
Yeah, the robe was covered in flour. The robe was covered in flour. Yeah.
Abso-fucking-lutely yes.
Hold on a second. About your testimony, Miss Kira. You were thinking to yourself that so as long as you had your robe on, you would be fine.
Yes, that's right. I was...
So basically, you were wearing the robe the whole time. So basically, you were wearing the robe the whole time you were on the top floor of the bell tower. Is that right?
Yes, I had it on the entire time. That is, until I was attacked. Then my robe was ripped off by the wind.
Miss Kira, this is the first time we've heard any mention of this information.
Is that so? I think I must have forgotten.
Your Honor, perhaps we should update this piece of evidence in the court record.
Right you are.
Well, that'll come in handy later.
Lady Darklaw, please continue with your testimony.
She's acting smug. Did you see that smile?
Oh, yeah.
I climbed up the stairs. Okay, so... She said she saw an intruder in one of these. Ah, no.
Looks like that's all we're getting out of her for now.
You know, if Darkla was just going into the bell tower to arrest some intruder, then I wonder why she didn't just come out and say that to begin with.
Simple. That information was on a strictly need-to-know basis.
Need to know basis, huh?
That sort of secrecy is pretty common, but usually they've got to have a reason for not disclosing the information to begin with. Darklaw was hiding this information for a reason. That's why we need to find out what exactly she was doing in that tower. I've got to get her to tell us.
Hey Nick, is it me or do you feel like we're being watched? Layton has a plan. Layton has a plan here. He always does.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I wonder what's up with the professor? Something must have happened. There's no way he'd turn on us like this.
The professor has been very quiet so far. But surely, he must have noticed there's something that doesn't add up with Darklaw's testimony. Anyway, there's bound to be something in this testimony that we can use. We just have to make sure we comb this thing from top to bottom for any contradictions.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, that's like
Let me see.
Ace Attorney 101.
Let me see here. So pass by the tower.
I gotta say, while you are reading, gotta give you props.
Yeah.
From going from Layton and suddenly adjusting to what is essentially an Ace Attorney game at this moment, you're doing really well.
I appreciate that show. Thank you very much. It was definitely a little bit of a tone whiplash at times at the beginning, but I'm enjoying this now. It took some getting used to. Those who watched the first episodes of this series already know, but I can already say with confidence that I am sold on Ace Attorney. It took some time,
Let's fucking go.
but now we're here.
Let's fucking go.
I have my reasons for not allowing. I climbed the stairs of the bell tower and saw an intruder inside with their back turned. I proceeded to apprehend them. How exactly if Kira was wearing the invisibility cloak?
Well, that was not what I meant to press. I meant to say.
That's a good question.
I guess we'll see. Because only of that forest that Kira quote-unquote comes from should be able to see the robes. So. What do you have to say about that, Darklaw?
Objection!
I don't know about that. Okay, for real. So, the person you saw when you entered the bell tower was actually Miss Kira. The only problem with that is that it would have been impossible.
What are you talking about, Defender?
Miss Kira, or should I say, the witness, stated that while she was waiting on the upper floor of the tower, she was wearing her invisibility robe. Therefore, there's no way Miss Darklaw would have been able to see the witness.
Oh, you're quite right. Anyone wearing this robe becomes invisible.
Right, but there's just one particular group that can see anyone dressed in this robe.
And who is that exactly?
People from the forest. Yeah.
Only residents of the Eldritch Woods are able to see the robe. If you're from the Eldritch Woods, then you've absolutely no problem seeing this thing.
Objection.
Oh?
Oh my. So, what you're saying, Mr. Wright, is that Miss Darklaw here actually hails from the Eldritch Woods. Is that correct? And that she knew this girl prior to tonight. That's right, Professor.
What is this?
A most impressive display, Mr. Wright. However, there is one detail that you appear to have overlooked. Something I overlooked? You say Miss Darklaw saw something she should not have been able to see. However, the truth is, there is one other possibility as to what occurred tonight. Did he just say what I think he said? It's rather easy to work out. Quite simply, the witness was not wearing the robe in the first place.
What are you talking about, Inquisitor?
So, I have to confess something.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, Layton has a plan here, but quote-unquote going against him in a battle of wits, it's a little bit chill. It's giving me the chills.
Yeah, this is excellent. This is excellent.
Yeah. Oh.
Remember, Ace Attorney fans, the Spring Breeze case? I'm getting a little bit of vibes of that from this right here.
Yeah, this.
If you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I'll find that out in a later date.
Yeah, Bevy knows. You bet fucking knows. You know what I mean? Okay, all right, cool. This witness has proven her memory of tonight's event to be quite unreliable. I believe that by the time she climbed the bell tower, she had, in fact, already removed her robe.
What? It is as you say, Inquisitor. Inquisitor Layton.
Man, never thought I'd hear that.
As you can see, Defender, your assertion is mere speculation at best. Your little witness here has been lying to the court the entire time. It's as simple as that.
And she was betting on that.
Objection!
1 second. The witness is quite clear with her testimony. Isn't that right, Miss Kira?
I'm not sure.
What?
I mean, my memory is a little fuzzy.
No way!
It would appear that there is nothing more to be gained from this line of questioning.
Your Honor, I suggest we return to the cross-examination.
A fine idea, Inquisitor. Well then, Lady Darklaw, will you please continue with your testimony?
As you wish.
Oh, there we go. No matter how you slice it, Kira looks like she's definitely hiding something.
If only there was some way of getting her to talk, huh, Nick? No matter what Kira says, Darklight just stays cool and brushes it off.
Yeah, this isn't going to be easy, that's for sure. That's why we really need to set our sights on Darklaw. If we keep doing that, then sooner or later, Kira is bound to speak up and say something.
Whoa, Nick. That's your most dastardly devious plan ever.
Alright, I know there's still a clue or two in this testimony somewhere, and I'm gonna find it. I should go back and double check your previous testimony. There have to be some more contradictions.
Let's see.
That's an interesting way to write that sentence. I'm sorry, grammar nerd here. There has to be some more contradictions, or have to be, because contradictions is plural, so using have to match up with the plural, it grammatically makes sense. It threw me off for a second, but that is grammatically correct.
English is quite the interesting language, to say the least.
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah. I suppose.
What do you mean? We both know.
Yeah, we would both know, huh?
Yeah, both of us, English was our second language, not our first.
That is
And
true.
yes, it is paradoxical, absolutely.
As opposed by the bell tower, a pair of small footprints leading inside caught my eye. I went to investigate. Tell me more about that.
Whose footprints are these? Those must have been Miss Kira's footsteps from when she snuck into the bell tower, right?
Indeed. The ground outside was quite muddy after the rain, so her footprints were easily visible.
Right. According to the vigilantes' testimony.
Oh, I remember Foxy.
They thought the footprints looked like Foxy's, but it turned out they weren't hers.
That's right. Her footprint would have contained a mark where her stiletto had been. But the footprints I saw at the bell tower contained no heel mark at all.
And you stepped inside those footprints on your way up to the stairs, so as to not leave your own and risk being detected, correct?
Exactly. At the time, my main task was to ensure the safety of the town square. In doing so, I was of the utmost importance that no one knew of my presence there.
Had the townspeople noticed your presence there, it would undoubtedly have raised some suspicion.
Indeed. So naturally, that is why I did not wish to be noticed by the vigilantes. Therefore, it was imperative that I mask any traces of my being there, even if it meant utilizing another's footprints.
I see. A clever tactic worthy of the High Inquisitor herself.
Is there anything off about our testimony just now?
Yes, there is. We do have the sketch of the footprints here.
Whose footprints are these?
There's something very wrong.
Miss Darklaw, I just noticed something in your testimony that's very relevant to the case. The defense requests you amend your testimony.
You just can't help letting that ridiculous imagination of yours run wild, can you?
The Inquisition has no objections.
Very well. The witness will amend her testimony.
There was no heel on the footprints, so as I ascended the stairs, I was careful to match my footsteps to them as far as possible. In that case, you will have no trouble explaining the footprint sketch, huh? There is a little bit of a heel in those footprints, but that just could be the shoe. We'll see. Maybe a little bit of a long shot, but... yeah.
Objection!
What I have here is a sketch of the footprints left at the bell tower. So tell me, Miss Darklaw, are these your footprints in this sketch?
It would appear so. I would never mean to offend the hard work of Labyrinthia's vigilantes, but tonight's task was mine and mine alone.
Okay. When you put it that way, I can't help but notice a contradiction.
Oh, we got a water and a stretch redeem from all three. I would gladly respond to both of them.
I'm so sorry.
Did you like time the scream perfectly?
No.
With the smash redeem?
Listen, no, I literally wasn't.
Are you serious?
I swear to God. I swear. Listen, I can't even see the stream because the motive mix is covering the view. That way I can still see the chat.
Yeah.
And just press the space bar to activate the immersion button. So I didn't even notice. I told y'all people, I am the demigod of unintentionally very good timing. Oh my God,
that was
that's
priceless.
funny. Oh fuck, I didn't even notice. I accidentally pressed that. I did not mean to press that. Oh my God.
That was incredible, actually.
It's the little things, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
That'll have to be a clip for later. God damn! I haven't heard you laugh that loud on a
I know. Sorry. I must compose myself. Apologies. That was just really good. You missed it. That was really good. Don't worry. We'll manage to clip it for later. Now I feel bad for that robot. Don't. It's a bootleg Transformer toy. Don't worry about him. Anyway. What did you say?
Miss Darklaw, you stated the following. When you climbed the stairs, the footprints had no heel, so you tried to match your footsteps to them as far as possible. However, if you look at the actual footprints that were left behind, you can clearly see that not only is the heel present, but so is the entire foot.
I knew it.
If you were trying so hard to step on the footprints already there, then the footprints in this sketch shouldn't have heel marks.
That is very true. Although I do not think such a small detail is of much importance in the long run.
I agree. It's a small detail, Your Honor. But that's not all I noticed. There was something very telling about Miss Darklaw's testimony.
Telling, you say?
She stated that she stepped on the footprints and that were already at the scene in order to disguise her presence. Now, there's something strange there. Specifically, why were these footprints left at the crime scene in the first place?
Objection.
Oh boy.
That's something you never want to hear.
Mr. Wright? Yes, Professor? Tell me, can you show the court why this seemingly minor detail is odd? I can't exactly do that at the moment. Who can say whether or not these footprints are indeed worthy of concern? And if it is an issue, then what exactly are the implications? That, above all, is what you must answer, Mr. Wright. I do not believe you can assert that this is the blatant contradiction at this time.
Ugh.
Oh, there he goes again, flexing that amazing brain of his.
That's what Max says I do.
Yeah, it's relatable, huh?
That's enough.
Miss Kira?
Lady Darklaw, how could you? How could you simply abandon us? How could you betray us? Oh?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Betray? Witness, what is the meaning of this?
Darklaw's case is falling apart here.
Uh-oh, lies beget more lies.
Lady Darklaw, you're the mistress of the Eldritch Woods. You are the one responsible for handing us our tasks.
What?
We all knew it. This wretched girl is nothing more than a detestable spawn of magic. Her words cannot be taken seriously. People of Labyrinthia, I ask you, what am I, if not a loyal daughter of this fair town? No, you're lying, Lady Darklaw. When I was waiting up there at the top of the bell tower, I was most certainly wearing that robe. Lady Darklaw, you were also wearing a similar robe, were you not? Don't you remember? What nonsense. I haven't a clue what you're babbling about. I simply managed to sneak right by those makeshift guards. It was not the most demanding of tasks for someone like me. Yes, you're right. That would be true if you've been sneaking around by yourself.
Sneaking here,
Sneaking over here, sneaking over there, like a sneaking bitch. People, watch Nirvana the band the show.
Yeah, go watch that. Not right now.
Not right now.
After the stream.
Enough. Listen to me and listen well. Continue as you are, and I will see to it that this court be the last place in which you ever set foot. It matters not. The end is already nigh. After the events of today, I shouldn't even be here right now.
Miss Kira, you're saying that Miss Darklaw was not by herself at the time of the incident tonight?
That's right. Lady Darklaw was wearing the visibility robe, and underneath that robe, is that Isabella?
What the fuck?
She's carrying... Huh.
Oh.
Was a young girl passed out on her back.
What?
A girl? Could that be?
Yes. It was the very same girl imprisoned inside that cage up there.
You mean... Espella Cantabella?
CJ, I believe somebody is getting pugged.
Oh yeah. It's time.
Order! Order! So the accused was carried up the bell tower?
Milord, there's nothing left for me to say.
I'm already blasting the music.
This the world of the High Inquisitor versus that of a witch. Tell me, who would you sooner believe?
Objection.
Miss Darklaw, you of all people should be aware that this isn't a matter of believing or not believing. I'm afraid those are words that carry no meaning here. The only thing that carries any meaning here within the courtroom is evidence. Don't you agree, Mr. Wright? Yes, absolutely, your professor. Your professor, whoops.
It's fine. Well, now, things are beginning to heat up a little, are they not?
Ha!
Fine. Tell me, Defender. Have you the means to prove this assertion?
I like how the fire is right behind her as she's saying this.
That is true. Do you actually think you can prove that I, the High Inquisitor of Labyrinthia, carried the accused into the bell tower?
From the looks of it, Miss Kira was supposed to keep quiet about Darklaw's little secret. But she couldn't deal with all of Darklaw's denials, and finally found the guts to chime in. I can't let Kira's effort go to waste. I don't care what stands in my way. I'm going to find the truth.
Let's do this.
Your Honor, the defense wishes to present evidence proving that Miss Darklaw did, in fact, carry my client up the tower.
Very well, Defender. You may present your evidence. Show us the evidence that proves Lady Darklaw carried the accused up the bell tower.
It's the footprints.
Feet.
It's the footprint sketch.
Feet.
Feet.
Take that!
Your Honor.
Feet.
God.
I arrest my case. There was something in your testimony just now that I'm not buying. And that's the footprints that were left at the bell tower.
Did I not just finish admitting that those were my footprints?
Miss Darklaw, you stated the following. There is no heel on the footprints, so as I ascended the stairs, I was careful to match my footsteps to them as far as possible. However, the reality is, the footprints pictured in the sketch actually do contain a heel. That means something must have prevented you from being able to tiptoe along the footprints that were already there.
Prevented? Huh? You mean...
That's right, Your Honor. Miss Darklaw, when you climbed up the bell tower tonight, you must have been carrying Miss Cantabella on your back. Is that correct? If you remember, it rained quite heavily tonight. That means the stairs must have been quite slippery. With your two hands occupied carrying my client, there would be no safe way for you to tiptoe up the stairs without falling. There it is, CJ.
There it is.
That right there is the truth behind the footprints on the staircase.
And there it is.
Lady Darklaw, you...
Man, this all came down to feet. This is crazy.
Huh.
That's fucking nuts.
I didn't thought about that actually. Huh.
Yeah, I didn't think it would come down to this.
Yeah. Fine. I admit it. Oh? It is as you say. I donned the robe and made my way up the tower. But I was not alone. I carried both Espela Cantabella and her little friend up the tower with me. The cat?
Little friend?
Baby says it's been about feet and heels all this time. That is true. Maybe Foxy was not simply a joke character, but a sign.
No shit.
That black-furred creature of hers. The thing is never even ever a second from her side. Oh, she must mean Eve. When I arrived at the top of the tower, I saw this girl already there and called out to her. I was very shocked to see the mistress show up in person like that. The girl's presence was an inconvenience, so I immediately put her to sleep. Believe it or not, it was just like you said, Defender. I used what remained of Beldug's medicine to put the girl out of the picture.
And that's when Miss Kira put up a fight and pulled this pendant right off your neck, correct?
That's right.
I cannot fathom it. That would mean this pendant actually belongs to you, Lady Darklaw.
Oh, I read that wrong, but fuck it, who cares? I just have one question, Miss Darklaw. Why? Why take Espela up the bell tower? Why render her unconscious? And why go out through all the trouble of sneaking past the guards? What exactly was your aim in all of this?
I am in no way obligated to answer that question, Defender.
What? What makes you say that?
Simple. None of this has any relevance to the case at hand. That is why.
Objection!
Miss Darklaw, you rendered the witness unconscious and locked her up at the top of the bell tower. I'd see that as more than a little relevant.
Objection.
Your Honor, if I may. The Inquisition believes the defense's question to be irrelevant to the current case.
Oh.
Professor? What are you saying? It would seem the defense has forgotten a very important point. Namely, the point of this, Mr. Wright. Huh? The aim of this trial is to find the identity of the Great Witch Bezella. Whether or not Miss Darklaw locked the witness at the top of the bell tower is hardly relevant to the purpose of this trial. But there is one thing that is very clear. Neither Miss Darklaw nor this witness could possibly be Bezella. What? If either one of these two were Bezella, then there would be no need for them to have used this robe invisibility. They cannot use any magic. Therefore, it is inconceivable that either of them could be the Great Witch.
A rather straightforward argument, if there ever was one.
At the time of the incident, there were 3 people present. Of those 3, 2 used the robe of invisibility to vanish from sight. leaving only one person. Indeed, Miss Cantabella. With this in mind, the larger question is, who is Bezella?
Is it not obvious? The accused, Spella Cantavella, is the only possible answer. Besides, the accused voice was heard by all the townspeople, chanting the spell of Grandware.
Objection!
Not so fast! I happen to think these witnesses are extremely relevant to this trial. Did you forget about Miss Kira? She supposedly took a one-way trip into the pit of fire over there. And yet, here she is, in one piece, testifying that she returned in order to kill the ruler of Labyrinthia, the storyteller. Then there's Miss Darklaw, who rendered the defendant unconscious and proceeded to transport her up the bell tower. I'd say there's more than enough of a reason to investigate who these two really are. Only to discover that they are not, in fact, the Great Witch Bezella. I'm saying there's a possibility that these two are somehow related to Bezella.
The court will now announce its thoughts on the matter. I must say, what Inquisitor Layton has stated certainly does ring true. However, Lady Darklaw, I have one question I must ask you. What exactly were you hoping to accomplish here tonight?
I assure you, it was not my intent to deceive the good citizens of Labyrinthia. However, I must now reveal the truth to you all. What did she say? You don't think Lady Darkla is in league with the witches, do you? She can't be. She was the one that saw to that other witch's demise.
Lady Darklaw, are you saying that you're...
That's right, my lord. I am a shade.
A shade?
He knew it. This is exactly what Layton was expecting.
Yep.
Lady Darklaw, will you please tell the court exactly what you mean when you say shade?
Yes, of course. I grow weary of standing behind this bench. I will tell you all I can.
What the heck is she trying to pull? Why testify about something that could potentially undermine your credibility?
Here we go.
Ooh, this is crazy.
Ooh. Shades live outside the realm of those who dwell within Labyrinthia. To them, I am known as the Great Witch. Those that are put into the flames in the witch trials become shades who live their lives in the woods. It is to carry out our task given to us by our mistress, the Great Witch herself. I am not a witch, nor I am a wandering spirit. We're gonna have to press on plenty of those statements.
What on earth? High Inquisitor Darklaw, do you mean to say that not only are you a witch, but that you're the Great Witch?
Unbelievable! Lady Darklaw is the Great Witch! The Great Witch! Doesn't that mean she's Bezella? That's right, Lady Darklaw is Bezella.
I do hope you have not forgotten what we established only moments ago. It is not possible for Miss Darklaw to be Bezella.
But Inquisitor Layton, surely the testimony just now proves it.
I am afraid that in the heat of such revelations, you have all misheard the information.
This is pointless. This is the extent of what the people of this town will believe.
I believe the truth will become clear during our cross-examination. Don't you agree, Mr. Wright?
Defender, you may begin your interrogation.
I love what they're doing with Layton here. He's helping Phoenix get to the truth. That's what he's doing. I love
Pretty
it.
much, it's amazing. The writing in this game is both fantastic from a Layton point of view, and you told me it's fantastic as well from an Ace Attorney
Yes,
point of
abso-fucking-lutely.
view. Okay. Shits live outside the realm of the duel within Labyrinthia. Tell us more about that.
Hold it!
Great Witch?
Yes, that's right. However, I am not Bezella. The mistress to those who dwell into the Eldritch Witch is dubbed the Great Witch. Even if I wanted to be Bezella, I couldn't. As the ever so charming Inquisitor stated earlier, I cannot use magic.
Miss Darklaw, I have one question. What do you mean by live outside the realm?
I mean just that, Inquisitor. We truly do live in a realm separate from this town. Now, surely one as intelligent as yourself has worked out the answer by now, no?
Perhaps. Perhaps. That remains to be seen, Miss Darklaw.
Regardless, it is something we cannot discuss with anyone. But it is something that the defense should be able to prove.
That almost sounds like a challenge. By the way, Miss Darklaw, since you're not actually a witch, why do you continue to be called that?
To answer that, I must first discuss the true identity of the Shades.
Excuse me.
Those that are put to the flames in the witch trials become Shades, who live their lives in the woods. Tell us more about that too. I'm gonna press every statement if you have to.
Hold it!
So you're saying that the Kira here right now is a shade version of the Kira from before?
Indeed, Defender. The girl has no recollection of her life prior to living in those woods.
What manner of witchery is this? Why? This girl, Kira the flower seller, was cast straight to the flames before our very eyes.
That's right, Your Honor. But as you can see, she didn't die. You see, there's actually a trick to the incineration device in the witch's court.
A trick?
Once the verdict has been delivered, the court attendants move the steel cage into position, after which it seals shut. Then, the cage is dropped down into a pit of fire. The bottom of the cage then opens, allowing the witch inside to escape unharmed into an underground passage.
If what you're saying is true, Defender, then what of this town's witch purging history? What has been the purpose of all of this?
We are dismantling this entire society.
Yeah, I told you the truth was gonna fucking wreck the fabric of this entire nation's existence. Holy shit!
You and the Knights have indeed been reading Labyrinthia's witches. The Labyrinthia of Witches. However, nary a single life has been taken in the process. That is the reality. If this town, anyway.
I know, right?
But you cannot truly expect me to believe such a ridiculous notion.
Your Honor, it's who's saying this? Your Honor, it's true. Take a Maya. Take a good hard look. It doesn't get any more alive than this.
Let's fucking go, Maya!
Oh, it's you. I am May.
He said it back. God damn it, Judge.
Well, it's actually Maya Fey, your forgetfulness.
What in the heck are you doing? Everyone's gonna recognize you.
Yeah, but seeing is believing, Nick. Now they have to believe you. Did you see? Are you satisfied? All those found guilty in the witches' trials lose their names, magic, and memory. They are then sent to spend their lives as shades in the Eldritch Woods. And the mistress of those shades is the Great Witch. As you can see, this girl too has become a shade.
I have no more words to express my utter disbelief at this situation.
That's enough. Shall we return to the testimony?
Why do I have a feeling things are gonna get a lot worse?
Tasks, you saying?
Hold it!
These tasks you mentioned, were you acting on them this evening?
Yes, I was told to come here and become Bezella. Aww?
Wait just a moment. Witness! Did you just say become Bezella?
Oh my, how absolutely dreadful! Ooh.
Why would anyone be given such a terrible task?
I
Wait,
don't believe this.
wait, I think I'm getting the picture here. I think I'm getting the picture here, Show.
Yeah, I also see smoke in the picture.
Oh, hey, Serval. Yes, I am gotten quite big. It's what everybody has been telling me today. It is true. But where have these shades come from? Okay, before we continue. We saw that picture of Darklaw with Espella being friends.
Mm-hmm.
What if Darklaw had the intention to use Kira as an scapegoat to save Espella?
Hey,
She-
that doesn't sound too far-fetched.
She just needed someone to cover up her friend, you know?
Yeah.
That would be
Because remember the picture we saw when we were doing the LAYTON thing
Mhm.
and the story? Yeah.
Maybe
Those two were
Darklaw.
very close.
Yeah, maybe Darklaw knows Espella is the Great Witch, and in order to save her, because she knows that she will be hunted down for eternity, she's just using Kira as a scapegoat. That could pretty much be it, but I guess we'll see.
Still fucked up.
It is.
Order! Order!
I'm sorry. I don't know why I was given such a task. Of course you don't know. All I can do is follow the orders I am given. If I can do that, then I can return.
What do you mean you can return?
Such is the nature of the Shades. Neither human nor witch dares an existence spent in the shadows. Each of the Shades is given specific tasks. Then, upon successfully completing such tasks, they are allowed to return to Labyrinthia as brand new people.
But Lady Darklaw, how can they return as brand new citizens? When we already know who they were. For instance, we all recognize the former flower seller standing before us.
Now that, milord, remains a secret, but a secret you will come to understand sooner rather than later.
Simply baffling.
The one who gives us our tasks is the Great Witch. That would be you, Lady Darklaw. I mean, oh, Magnificent One.
While this explanation is wrought with much I cannot comprehend, I must request the witness added to their testimony.
Okay.
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 I can't. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
You should put that in the soundboard, honestly.
I'll consider it.
Darkla was our venerable mistress. She assigned us our tasks. She was the Great Witch. I guess we're gonna press on every single statement here.
Hold it!
So, about these tasks, can you give us any other examples?
A Shade's task must never be discussed with others, no matter what.
She says that even though she just finished telling us what her secret task was. Incidentally, do you perhaps remember when you arrived back in town to carry out your orders?
Well, not really. My memory is still a little bit fuzzy. Say, didn't Kira only just recently become one of those shade thingies? Still, I failed my task tonight.
Come to think of it, when Luke and I had our little run-in with Kira, I remember being blown clear across the marketplace. But I never saw any explosives or gunpowder.
Maybe... Kira was given the task of blowing you to smithereens, Nick.
And we're done. Getting back to this testimony.
So this is their dynamic, huh? All the time.
Yep, this is there all the time. I'm sure there's something here that just doesn't add up.
I am not a witch, nor am I a wandering spirit. What do you mean by that?
Hold it!
You really don't have any recollection of your old flower-selling self, do you?
I don't. When a witch becomes shade, they lose all the memories of their past life.
They lose their memories? But why? And yet, you still have some grasp of the concept of magic, do you not, witness?
Let me spell it out for you. Magic does not exist in the Elwich Woods. Oh, but there are actually lots of things back in the fairies that I have not seen in this town.
There are things there that you haven't seen here? Ugh, read that weird.
Like really huge machines, that sort of thing. There's one that spits out fire with such amazing speed, then it expels these huge plumes of gray smoke. You don't say. Okay.
Hey, Chad, I started a poll for you. Is it a ladder or a step ladder?
Oh god. I don't think I'm yet equipped to enter that argument. But I will be. In some time. But if it's small, I would say step ladder.
Let's put this. I mean, oh yeah, we can keep going. That's just something for them to
okay.
fuck around with.
Okay.
A machine that spits fire? Never have I heard of such a thing.
What if there was never a dragon to begin with?
Exactly.
Are you certain that these machines of which you speak of are not simply magic?
Wow, look at that, right in the middle.
Oh, 50-50.
This poll sucks!
Don't worry.
I wanted
Sean.
carnage!
We'll get that Carnage Pro when I start playing Ace Attorney.
I wanted violence.
You know, now that you mentioned it, I don't think anyone from this town can actually see those of us from the forest.
They couldn't see you? Did there be something like that wrong?
How can such a thing even be possible without magic?
Objection.
Oh shit.
Oh?
Miss Darklaw, if I may interrupt for just a moment.
What is it, Inquisitor Layton?
Through your testimony just now, we have all come to understand the process of how one becomes a shade.
Oh yeah, Serval, Layton said objection. That's something you don't want to hear.
Gotta say, I'm very impressed with how they're using him as the prosecutor. The script, the writing does a very good job, and him being very meaningful behind his words. He does not speak just for the sake of speaking. When he speaks, every time so far, there is a point.
That's Layton. That's his character.
He knows exactly what he's doing. I love this. However, I was hoping you could perhaps elaborate on one additional point. Namely, what exactly is the purpose behind the shades? And the theme is playing right now too?
Yeah,
oh, shit.
Layton's theme is playing.
That's his version of somebody's getting fucked.
If you wish to know of our purpose, there are certain other things you must first understand. Once you've done that, the answer should be quite clear.
Precisely.
Isn't that right, Defender? Yeah,
Purpose behind the shades?
they're not fighting each other. They are two great minds debating to come together at a truth. That is true.
Yes.
Rest assured, you will not get the answer from me. As the saying goes, the witch is in your court, Defender.
Sounds like Darklaw's challenging me to figure this out. Challenge accepted.
Here we go. There is but one true purpose of the shades that dwell within the Eldritch Woods. And why would that be?
Why would that be? Miss Darklaw, what is the purpose of the shades?
As Mistress of the Shades, I cannot disclose the purpose of their existence.
Well then. Since Miss Darklaw is unable to tell us herself, it seems we must rely on evidence instead. Evidence, huh? I do believe the shades could have something to do with that which exists in this town, but ought not to. Something that exists, but shouldn't?
Well, Defender, are you prepared to present evidence?
Yeah. Let's do this.
Fuck yeah! I was born ready, Your Honor. Something that exists in this town, but shouldn't.
I got it. I got it.
Got it?
Mm-hmm.
I think I know what you're getting at, Professor.
Defender, please present your evidence.
Yes, Your Honor.
I was thinking about it, and yeah, I think I got it.
Okay. The purpose of the shades could be to make sure this particular thing exists in Labyrinthia.
Remember that Kira didn't use magic to make that card explode when we first met her in the previous episode. It was a little bomb, almost like a firework. Now we're hearing things of the shades using machines. What shouldn't exist in Labyrinthia is magic.
Oh!
Take that!
Oh!
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even.
They're all faking it.
About that.
They're faking it. There is no magic.
Yo, you know what I'm thinking? I knew it was fake. I knew it. I knew it. That's what I knew it was fake.
I knew it.
I knew it. I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I think it's time for me to press this.
Yeah.
Magic?
That don't work. There's no way out of this one.
You're done.
Yeah. Something that doesn't exist. I have a feeling no one is going to like the answer I'm about to give, and it'll probably end up shaking this town to its core. But I've got to tell them. The truth has to come out.
This is a really Professor Layton solution. The mystical thing was not mystical at all.
This whole town is getting fucked. This town is getting fucked.
Wow.
This town is getting fucked. This town is getting fucked.
Pretty much.
God. Since I arrived here in Labyrinthia, there's been no shortage of really strange events. Ignize, Demir, Gudor, Goldor, and now Grandworm. The mere command of magic is in itself a crime, is it not? In this town, witches are arrested and made to participate in witch trials. They are then sentenced to death by fire. But none of those witches actually died. That supposed death by fire wasn't real. And neither is magic. It doesn't really exist.
There it is.
What are you saying, Defender?
Marvelous.
Good job. The Eldritch Woods apparently contain some rather large machines unlike anything that exists within the Labyrinthia. Machines that emit fire and produce large plumes of smoke. The stuff that they were making in those big pots!
Uh-huh.
And they were wearing masks!
Because you don't want to breathe that, you know?
But why would they not want to breathe that? Oh my, I'm sorry, I know I didn't read that line, but holy shit. Okay.
It sounds like nothing more than magic.
Yes, that's exactly it, Your Honor. Miss Starklaw. Magic doesn't really exist in this town. That's the answer, isn't it?
Magic does not. What utter nonsense!
It seems to have finally arrived at this stunning conclusion. The secret behind Labyrinthia.
What? What? Order! Order! Order, I say! What is the meaning of this?
Now the storyteller needs to show up. This entire town is about to have a meltdown. We have destroyed its very fabric of existing.
Literally. It means that all of the magic you've seen in this town was nothing more than an illusion created and put into motion by the Shades.
But Defender, the witches, we have clearly seen them use magic.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. The witches are not dead.
I'm not smoking a pack. But let us take a moment to think carefully about the systems employed by the Shades.
They call him the puzzle because he's all about that hustle.
Oh my god.
Systems?
What is essential in order for a witch to use magic? The witch must possess a Talia Magica and must say an incantation in order to cast the spell. And the spells able to be cast are determined by the scepter's magic gems. Now, what do you think is the purpose of placing such requirements on the use of magic?
It's a signal.
What do you mean, purpose?
These requirements are not there to allow the user to cast magic. Rather, the reality is that they are there to inform the Shades of who should be using magic. It is possible that witches were always being closely observed by the Shades.
Layton and company are breaking down the Matrix. True.
Yeah.
Magic is real. You can deny it. That's pretty much everyone in this town right now. Denial.
That's why they donned these robes, to appear hidden until they were needed to create magic.
Create?
Indeed. There are all kinds of spells within this tome. It would be quite troublesome if they were simply allowed to use any spell at will. Yeah. It would make the Shades' job that much more difficult for sure. Precisely so. That is why it was imperative that a certain restriction be placed on the use of magic. Ah, you're referring to the Talia Magica, right, Professor?
Of course! No wonder the scepter could contain only 2 magic gems!
Then there's the incantation. What would happen if a witch could simply whisper the incantation quietly to herself? Or not even say it at all?
Boy, that would be so cool. I'd be casting spells all day long. No one would ever see it coming.
Maya, we spent an entire trial proving that you weren't a witch, remember?
Yeah.
Classic Maya. If the witches didn't give some sort of signal, then there will be no way for the shades to know when to cast the spell. Right you are, Mr. Wright. The incantations were a way of telling the shades when the witch was ready to use magic.
What on earth? Never did I think these requirements could have such a purpose!
Where is Luke?
Good question. Now, let's think back to the previous events leading up to today that have involved magic. Our first encounter with magic was the use of the spell Ignace a few nights ago. A spell like this was nothing more than a flame spewed from a machine being used by the shades.
Then that means... Demir...
A spell that makes the caster disappear? No doubt about it. It must have been this robe. Next is the incident with Goldor, the spell that transmuted me into a gold statue. While I understand this may sound a bit absurd, I can only surmise that the shades created a gold statue in my image, took me and left it in my place the instant the incantation was uttered.
Professor, it's a little more absurd than anything else that's happened so far.
That is true.
We can therefore conclude that all of the magic in Labyrinthia was created in a similar vein. What do you say to that, Miss Darklaw? God damn!
She just got eviscerated.
God damn!
That was insanity.
Absolutely dismantled!
I expect nothing less from you, Inquisitor Layton. At any given time, there were between 5 and 10 witches in town. All of the witches were accompanied by shades at all times. It was easier than you would think. You see, the shades living in the Eldritch Woods totaled in the hundreds. It was simply a matter of having each of the shades operate in shifts, in order to watch over each of the witches within the town.
I must say, Doctor, that is quite a number of shades.
It was not only those who fell victim to the flames that were turned into shades, but their victims too were made the permanent residents of the Eldritch Woods.
Not Belduke, though. That man straight up killed himself.
Yep. Then, those 2 shady thieves from before were turned into shades? Ah, yes. You mean Grubs and Mugs. Despite their dubious appearance, those 2 were a couple of my best shades.
Shady thieves turned into shades. Ugh, this stuff writes itself.
I cannot believe what I have heard.
However, there is still one thing I do not understand just yet.
And what would that be?
As has just been explained, we have established that there is no possibility of magic being real. But replacing me with a gold statue to give the illusion of transmutation, for example, while it sounds simple enough, I myself, and presumably also Miss Fey, have no recollection of this replacement actually taking place.
Hey, that's right! The professor could all bling bling before I could even bat an eye.
It begs the question, how and when was the statue created, let alone used to replace me?
That is true.
The same goes for Godor. It's supposed to create a portal between two green-colored walls. Yo, chroma key? Perhaps. That is why the spell can only work on green walls, Mr. Wright. Still, it'd be impossible for the Shades to get those portals ready so quickly. I agree. If we take a moment to think, we can see that all of these spells have one strange thing in common. A thing in common? Yes, indeed. Almost as if some time between the start and the end of the incident was unaccounted for. Furthermore, any memory I might have had regarding the incident seems to have simply disappeared in the process.
I got it, Nick. It's just like what happened to Kira. She's got absolutely no memory of her life in Labyrinthia before the trial, right? Yes, I do not remember this Kira you speak of. And oh yeah, when you really think about it, doesn't it seem super weird how the Shades are able to return to the town if they complete their tasks?
You're right, Maya. I mean, the townsfolk are bound to remember some things about them, right? Like how Miss Kira here threw a major hissy fit in court and was barbecued for being a witch. Eloquently put, Mr. Wright. Hence, we cannot yet conclude that this entire illusion was primarily accomplished through the use of machinery. Simply put, there must have been some way of affecting the memories of those within the confines of this town.
I'm telling you, it's that shit that they were brewing. I'm telling you.
Missing time and lost memories. Now that is interesting, Inquisitor. You are correct. There is, in fact, a secret that lies within the depths of the Eldritch Woods. Something that the people of this town cannot see. Something that can rob people of their time and memories. It is, yes. This is the very thing that connects all of what you have heard tonight. This is a secret of monumental proportions.
Oh, my mic was muted, my bad. And let me guess. It was the galaxy gas! Tis a secret that cannot be revealed by the mistress of the Eldritch Woods. Is that right?
Yes. An excellent deduction, Defender.
Witches' souls wander astray within the Eldritch Woods. Until tonight, I thought this nothing but a mere fairy tale told to children. But it has become clear that a seemingly large organization lies within that forest.
The Witch's Court is the border between this world and the other world.
Then that means... in this world, you mean Labyrinthia's High Inquisitor, while also being the mistress to the Shades in the other world. Otherwise known as the Great Witch. May I intervene for just a moment, Mr. Wright? Sure. In all honesty, there is still something that sticks out as a little odd. Particularly in Miss Darklaw's previous testimony. Did you say the previous testimony? Oh, I'd already pushed that out of my head. There was one vital truth that we managed to take away from that testimony.
You mean that magic does not truly exist in Labyrinthia? Indeed, quite the vital, albeit shocking truth.
However, there is one more truth hidden within that same testimony. There's something else in that testimony? I must have checked the court record more times than I can count, but I didn't find a single other contradiction. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Wright? When there is no evidence left, we have but one more weapon at our disposal with which to uncover the truth.
Oh, hey, I got it, Nick. Remember, in a witch trial, you can cross-examine two witnesses at the same time.
Hey, that's right! I completely forgot! Being able to have a look at two testimonies side by side is bound to turn up a contradiction somewhere. And that contradiction should provide us with a much-needed clue. I'm not entirely sure what the professor is going with this, but I believe in his judgment. Besides, if we're going to blow this case wide open, it's gotta be worth a shot.
Very well, we will now take a closer look at Lady Darklaw's previous testimony.
Here we go.
This is it. Miss Darklaw's previous testimony.
You love Layton's Lego-like smile. I never thought about it, but it kinda looks like it, yeah.
Surprised that never popped in your mind. There is a glaring contradiction between this piece of testimony and the others. Ready yourself, Mr. Wright.
Those are appear the flames in the witch's dress because shades who live in their lives in the woods. Lady Darklaw was our venerable mistress. She assigned us our tasks. She was the Great Witch. That one is sounding very suspicious here. And I wish I might wander in spirit. There is but one true purpose of the shades. Choose this one.
Objection!
Oh!
Ooh, both at the same. Oh!
Oh! Double pointing.
Straight. Damn. Your Honor, there's obviously a huge discrepancy between these two pieces of testimony.
Oh, she's
the double
fingers.
The double finger. Holy shit.
The double finger.
Miss Darklaw stated that she is known as the Great Witch. However, according to Miss Kira's testimony, Miss Darklaw was her venerable mistress, the Great Witch. That is correct. She was the Great Witch. Note Miss Kira's use of the past tense.
Past tense? I'm afraid my grammar is not quite what it used to be. May I ask what you mean?
It's simple. Miss Darklaw was mistress to the Shades, or as they called her, the Great Witch. Therefore, she is no longer the Great Witch.
And there it is.
There it is.
She is not the Great Witch? Witness, is this true?
Huh? It is as you have heard, my lord. I relinquish my position as the Great Witch in order to fulfill the objective of this task.
What would that objective be again?
That would be the assassination of the storyteller, Your Honor. Witness! At the beginning of this trial, you stated that you came to town in order to complete your task, didn't you? What's more, you said that you were going to summon the fire dragon to do it. Now, this task. It wasn't Miss Darklaw here that gave it to you, was it?
No, it wasn't.
So then, the most pressing question is, who was it that gave you that task? Who told you to come to Labyrinthia and assassinate the storyteller?
I cannot tell you, no matter what.
I bet you it's the storyteller.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I was thinking the same thing.
All right, so Darklaw isn't the Great Witch anymore, which must mean the mastermind behind this entire thing is...
Layton? She's smiling.
It would seem the defense has worked it out as well. Mr. Wright, you know who really gave Miss Kira her task tonight, do you not?
Defender, I ask that you enlighten the court. Show us who really gave this witness her task to assassinate the storyteller.
It's him. It's him! It's him! Oh, it's him!
The storyteller?
We're talking about someone with the authority and power to replace the Great Witch. Someone who calls the shots. I can't think of anyone else that meets those criteria, except for the storyteller himself.
Preposterous! Then that would mean...
Exactly, Your Honor. It means that the storyteller gave this final task to Kira himself. He was, in short, responsible for his own assassination.
What?
Yeah, of course he would try to get himself taken.
Order, order, order in the court! But for what purpose? Why would he plan his own assassination?
That I cannot say, Your Honor. However, the final chapter of the story does tell of his inevitable death. While he assigned this task to Kira himself, it is perfectly natural that he would do so. However, what is not natural is your behavior tonight, Miss Darklaw.
What was unnatural about High Inquisitor's behavior?
You were once the head of all the Shades, and yet, tonight you tried to interfere with the storyteller's plan. You rendered Miss Kira unconscious and locked her away in the belfry of the bell tower.
So maybe it was the storyteller's idea to save his daughter. He acted very surprised when he heard Espela was the one in court.
So why would he do that?
To save his daughter. In a way. I guess we'll see.
That, to me, seems like the activity of someone aiming to put a stop to his plan altogether.
Yeah, Dracula was different.
Indeed. Lady Darklaw, what would be the reason for such behavior?
I leave that to you, Mr. Wright. Based on what we've seen in this trial, the defense believes Miss Darklaw's reason for covering up her actions tonight can only be attributed to one thing. This plan was handed down by the storyteller himself. And Miss Darklaw was definitely aiming to put a wrench in it. But why?
She tried to betray the storyteller.
There's one possible reason I can think of as to why Miss Darklaw had to hide her actions tonight. She was aiming to betray the storyteller!
Betray the storyteller?
I agree, Mr. Wright. The storyteller used the Great Witch Bezella to take his own life. Instructions to carry out the plan were given to Miss Kira. However, Miss Darklaw planned to intervene and change the scenario at the very last minute. She planned to do so by changing the identity of the Great Witch from Miss Kira to Miss Cantabella,
Oh.
thus bringing us to our current situation. Miss Cantabella on trial for the murder of her father at the hands of Bezella. You, Miss Darklaw, seem to harbor a rather strong hatred for the storyteller, if I am not mistaken.
Oh, she's starting to break. Hatred, you say? Yes, I suppose you could call it that. That's right. Behold, my revenge.
Did you say revenge?
Miss Darklaw, will you please tell the court of your plan for revenge?
If you insist. The High Inquisitor, and also the Great Witch. Long have I donned those two masks, one as a Labyrinthia's protector, the other its harbinger of destruction. In other words, I was merely meant to serve him, and yet he sought to selfishly pen the ending of the story under his own terms. He did not care enough about me, or any of the townspeople, to allow us the dignity of deciding our own fate. Indeed, what we witnessed tonight was the cowardly act of a man looking for an easy way to end that which he could not properly finish. He cared for no one but himself, hence the sudden shame of an ending. And for that, I will never forgive him.
What do you mean by sham of an ending?
The Great Witch Bezella is to summon a dragon of fire and end the life of the creator. She will then be put on trial and judged, thus heralding a period of peace and prosperity in all of Labyrinthia. Such is the ending written for this town and its people. This is not an ending I opposed in principle. Who would not wish a happy ending for their own people? However, the problem lies in Bezella's identity.
Bezella's identity?
As you know, he assigned the role of the Great Witch to this girl beside me.
But you're saying that that was a falsehood. Is that correct?
I knew Bezella's true identity. This is not something I could ever forget. That is why I went under the bell tower, and this is why I took the accused there. I did it to ensure the true witch, foretold in the story, was given the judgment she was due.
The true witch? You don't mean...
Yes, I speak of none other than Spella Cantabella.
Objection!
Miss Darklaw, there is a glaring contradiction in your statement.
And what would that be?
It's supposedly common knowledge that Bezella is capable of using all magic. However, that is far from the truth. Magic does not actually exist in this town. It was all one giant illusion created by the Shades. Therefore, the Great Witch Bezella cannot exist either. Yeah, it's fake.
It's all fake. I knew it.
All of this is bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But why create such an elaborate lie? Why would Belduke literally kill himself because he couldn't bear holding the secret anymore?
I guess we'll
There has
find
to be a
out.
reason for that. Ice Fairy.
Ice Fairy.
There's got to be a reason for all of this.
You're right, just in time, Fairy.
Yeah, I was nervous that I wasn't going to arrive in time.
Don't worry about it. Vámonos! I'm so excited, I can't wait.
You fool. Defender, you really don't have a clue, don't you?
But, oh wait, that's you, Fairy.
Yeah.
Oh, finally.
But wait, just a minute now. Is the defender not correct? If magic does not exist, then it goes without saying that witches do not exist either. And that would include the Great Witch, would it not?
That's right. They've been lying to us. Oh, go for it.
They've been lying to us the whole time!
Bastards.
It's like real!
Objection.
Oh?
Mr. Wright, there is a fundamental mistake in your argument. What do you mean? I have but one simple question. What exactly is Bezella? Huh? Well, she's supposed to be the head of all the witches. Allow me to reword the question. The Great Witch Bezella is the root of all disaster within Labyrinthia. Knowing that, what specific disaster might she have been the root of? That would be,
I just thought of something. We've been hearing Bazella's name left and right since we got here, but not once since the real Bazella has shown up in person.
indeed, Miss Faye. Bazella herself has been virtually absent from the story thus far.
But Inquisitor, did she not claim the life of the storyteller tonight?
It would appear so, Your Honor. However, there is just one more thing. Consider this. Which particular story is every citizen of Labyrinthia most familiar with? Well, that would have to be
The legendary fire.
the legendary fire, right? Precisely.
Surely you're not serious. As that name implies, that is but a mere legend. No one knows for certain if it occurred, but...
I gotta say, I'm kind of thankful you're here, because Yellow and I can have a little break.
That is true, yeah. Yeah.
So they say. But the reality is, there are still traces of that terrible fire within the town today.
The professor's right. We've even been seeing some of it up close and personal.
Hey, yeah, at the Great Archive.
You are indeed correct, Inquisitor. Littered throughout the town are burnt remnants of a fire most fierce. However, no one could say for certain what transpired back then. You see, not a soul saw what actually happened. Let me see if I have this straight. There's an entire town full of people and no one saw what happened?
Correct. Except for one particular person.
What?
There is one person who saw everything. Has to be a storyteller. I am speaking, of course, of the one responsible for the fire itself. The Great Witch Bazella.
Yes.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah. I remember it. All of it.
Espella, what are you saying?
When I closed my eyes, I could picture it so vividly. The awful sight of the flames engulfing everything they touched. The scorching heat on my skin. The smell of burning cinder all around me. The large plumes of black smoke. The warm tears streaming down my face. I remember it all.
What are you recalling now? Is the moment of the Great Witch Bazella destroy our town? Well, it appears my role here is finished. As for the rest, I'll leave it in your capable hands, Inquisitor.
And she just gets to peace out? What the fuck?
Huh? Turkla, she just vanished into thin air.
Oh, that was it! Oh, that was
Oh, the
legit!
cloak.
Okay. She's right. These memories are proof that I am Bazella. But Espella,
Mr. Wright? Remember, if you will, what I said at the beginning of this trial. I came here to prove that Espella Cantabella is, in reality, the Great Witch Bezella.
Oh! It just hit me. I'm gonna be quiet.
Right. There is still one more thing I wish to present to the court. The storybook. I would now like to call the final witness to the stand.
Here we go.
Oh boy.
So you already know who it is.
Final witness?
You already know who it is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. Bring him out.
There he is.
Ah. It would appear he has arrived.
It's the storyteller.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I give you this trial's final witness, the storyteller. And just like that, he appeared. The man who died not hours before. And the victim of this very trial, the storyteller himself. The professor sure chose one heck of a final witness. Morning is drawing closer and closer. How this trial will end is anyone's guess.
Whoa!
Are you serious?
Wow! Another trial. Okay.
That's
my
insane.
God.
Oh. The next episode needs to be called the final trial.
Here we go.
Oh my god, it's literally called epilogue.
Huh?
Oh my god.
Oh, this is gonna be another 2 hours.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, Chief.
Yeah. Oh my. They keep doing this.
I can't keep getting away with this.
Yeah, it's been 3 hours and 29 minutes.
This is the third time they've done this to us.
They,
Man. This is awesome, but they keep doing this to us.
Damn.
Okay. One more episode? One more episode.
Yes.
The next one should be the final, for real final episode. This one is literally called Epilogue, unless the next one is called Epilogue 2. It's...
it's just epilogue and then final chapter afterwards.
Yeah.
That would be such a dick move.
I
Yeah.
will say,
Okay.
love this dynamic.
This is amazing.
Fantastic between Nick and Layton. The way they're working with each other in trial, it just reminds me of Phoenix and Miles. It is so, it's similar, but it's so different because Layton is such a different character from Miles in his own compelling way.
Oh, absolutely. The way they're like working together this way is just fantastic. It's just I'm really enjoying their dynamic, not gonna lie. It's really good. Just processing everything that we've seen, friends. Just wow.
I kind of kept up as I was like away, but like there were definitely moments where I had to like not listen to the stream and I had to like go do other things.
That's okay. That's okay. But we are gonna leave it there for now.
Good, because I'm hungry as fuck
Me
from
too.
doing all those voices.
You,
Holy shit.
you and me both. Joe.
Understandable.
You and me both. But this has been
Force right now.
but this has been amazing.
That was fun.
Yeah.
For sure.
Catch us next Wednesday where we finally finish this.
Yes.
Great job, everybody.
Yeah, it's fair. You saved my ass towards the end, because, man, I don't know how much longer I could keep doing the judge in that voice. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, like you definitely are putting like a much older voice into it than what like was going on in the voice acting, and I was just like, I am not going to destroy my throat for that shit. I'm gonna
Honestly,
just do what the dude did.
That's I see the judge and I keep thinking of the actual the I guess an OVA. I guess that's what they would call it. I don't know. There's a fucking Phoenix Wright anime out there, and that's what the judge sounds like. And I was like, that's so fitting.
Okay.
I'll just do that. And man, but that takes effort though, because you gotta exhale. For me, I have to exhale when I'm delivering that voice. If I try to inhale while doing that, it feels weird. I can't. I feel I sound thinned out.
I like
So
Serval says I like all of shows, yellows, and Sveri's voices.
Fuck yeah!
Thank you,
Hell
Serval.
yeah.
Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Chico.
I do my best, but like I definitely, there are moments where like I feel like my female voices are incredibly similar, and I'm trying to like make them distinct, but it's like it's rough.
I just try to give Darklaw my usual, as Maggie called it, rest in bitch face sounding voice. Which I do not entirely disagree with. But it's just how I sound like. But anyway, y'all did great. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, next time it's gonna be much definitely the last episode of this series. And let me tell you, this has been an amazing series thus far. It had its ups and downs and a rocky start getting used to the dynamics of the Phoenix Wright characters, being someone who comes from the LAYTON side of things. But I gotta say, all of this has grown on me, and I'm definitely sold on the Ace Attorney series to try at some point. But yeah, I am glad to have given it a chance. I am glad to have stuck with it, give it a chance to grow on me, and it has. It definitely has. And thank you too for joining me on this adventure, of course.
Yeah, no problem.
It's been a pleasure.
De nada.
Now, is there anything y'all want to say to the audience?
Absolutely not. I don't. I just think chat is cool.
I guess I should say something. Over on my streams, I will be resuming the Kingdom Hearts playthrough finally tomorrow. I think everything is out of the way.
Yeah, you're not gonna want to.
I feel a little bad.
No, don't worry, don't worry. People will definitely tune in to watch it, because if they're not, that will be a shame. You don't want to miss that. There's Severius channel, and here is Show's channel as well, because he also does fantastic streaming content. And without further ado, I'm gonna mute myself to do the final signing off. Thank you for joining. And everybody, thank you as well for joining us in another streaming adventure. I really hope you enjoyed the stream, especially with the current changes that I'm currently having to get used to, obviously. I'll get to the bottom of this as to why I look like this. But without further ado, thank you for joining. Thank you to the patrons for their monthly support, of course. You can do the same if you want to get yourself some behind the scenes look as to what projects are coming soon. And I'll see you in the next one, everybody. Take care. And I'll see you, Space Cowboy. Bang.
I was cooling in the motel for a minute. Loved ones that I won't tell how I'm living. Now I'm in the woods, trailer park, staying hidden. In the rap game, slashing through a million minions. IRL is lame cause I'm broke in Virginia. Surrounded by the slimy cold-blooded, they amphibians. I ain't dark as I was, hit the AMV. Pulled a beam katana out, then the slaughterhouse. I was higher cause you talking loud, starting drumming out. I got I understood what they talking about. So I fight them cause I understand all they trauma now. In the woods, smoking on some woods, game me feeling good, but it's great. Can escape my fate, would it if I could? On some LBs, for these LBs I had to hustle. Desperately trying to find paradise through this desperate struggle. One kill and be killed, it's the way that I'm living. Throw my life away, but I had to hide my feelings. Trying to stack LBs straight to the ceiling.